What does Zyn really give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but also real freedom to do more of what you love, when and where you want to do it. Why bring Zyn along for the ride? Because America's #1 nicotine pouch opens up all the possibilities of right now. With Zyn, you don't just find freedom, you keep finding it. Find your Zyn. Learn more at Zyn.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Going up.
Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up.
Going up.
But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button.
Going down.
We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40, period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free Samsung 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
NFL schedule dropped yesterday, which is actually a super exciting day for not just fans of certain teams, but also free agent fans like myself that like to travel to the biggest games of the regular season. All the primetime standalone games seem really fun. I think I know where I'm going to be week 1, and that's in Denver, as everybody with a pulse is probably going to take Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos in their survivor pool. I'm going to be back in Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. That seems like a hard ticket to get. You know where I'm going to get those tickets?
Where? Game Time.
The Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Hopefully that purchase is to watch Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
No primetime games for Cam Ward next year.
That's not rare. Well, that is a little rare. Like, they're not even on a Thursday night.
No primetime games for the #1 pick in the draft. I want to announce to people that I'm a bit frightened right now. This doesn't actually happen to me very often. You guys know I like to play with fire a little bit, right? So I ended accidentally Bert Kreischer and Bill Burr's podcast by poking Bill Burr on the nose and then just sort of backpedaling the whole time because I'm very afraid of comedians when they're agitated and emotional, but I also like when they're agitated and emotional. So when I'm interviewing Anthony Jeselnik on South Beach Sessions, I'm beginning from a point of being a little afraid. I don't want to make a mistake here that's going to make this person like cut my face off because he's been funny since he's 9 years old and angry since he's 9 years old. And the problem I have right now is I know how good Sam Morril is at comedy, but I also know how not in the mood he is for us today. And not in the mood. We have a treasure right now in that we have acidic, dark Sam Morril right now after just a crushing Knicks loss. And I know he doesn't want to be on with us, and I know he doesn't want to do this, but this is actually a get today, a Knicks fan willing to be hurt publicly today. So, Sam, you honor me by making time in your schedule to do this. I'm sorry we're doing this to you today.
Well, first of all, Dan, not in the mood has never stopped you, from what I hear from your wife. Also, yeah, I'm not in the mood to be here. I told you that last time. It was a bad loss, but you pushed and you pushed. And this Bert Kreischer, Bill Burr thing, if you feel so bad about it, why do you bring it up every 5 minutes? Well, I feel so bad I ended Bert and Bill's podcast. You mention every time I talk to you. Hopefully Tony can behave as well on this episode. I mean, this is a mess last time. So, yeah, I'm not in the mood to talk about the Knicks right now.
Tony, you took, I don't think it's a stray, actually. I don't think Tony knows essentially what it is that you're talking about, but we'll get back to that in a second. Billy betrayed you recently, not unlike Zaz recently betrayed Amin. But Sam, how are you feeling today? Did you have trouble sleeping last night? Because I was saying before you came on here that...
I didn't sleep, Dan. I'm like Donovan Mitchell after his loss. I didn't sleep. I feel like shit. I'm hungover. We're going to win on Friday, but you know, look, the Boston team came together. What can you do? You lost your star and they played a great game. It was very frustrating to watch.
I worry for your team because I was making the argument before you came on here that the Celtics are championship great because they're built for threes. They can hit 25 of them whether or not Tatum's playing. So you have to fear that going into the Garden because the Garden hasn't closed out a playoff opponent this century.
Well, do you feel any guilt, Dan?
About Tatum?
About you going on here and being like, where's his moment? Where's Jason Tatum's moment? And then he tears the Achilles. He got a moment. because of you. You jinxed him.
Well, he had one before that when he's been injured before in big moments and been physically hurt. I remember those moments. They are moments for him. I remember them.
I bet you'll get a Nico Harrison Dallas welcome next time you go to Boston.
You can't sit there and claim that I created a moment for Jason Tatum, but it was.
Am I the first one to say this? I can't possibly be the first.
Well, it was his most memorable moment of the playoffs.
It was. No, he had 42 before that went down. He was
That's
good.
not a moment. 42 is 42 moments.
Okay.
Huh?
I realized I was talking to a nerd. All right. Yeah, look. Boston's still tough without him. What can I say? I think we're going to win on Friday, but they're still good. What do you want from me, Dan? It was an annoying game to watch. We showed no desire. They called 5 fouls on Brunson in 9 minutes. What the was that? What am I watching? He breathed on Jaylen Brown. And I'll tell you, I wanted to hate. Have I told you that I met Jaylen Brown? I wanted to hate him, but he was actually a good guy.
Isn't that the worst?
I did a fashion show at the Apollo for don't ask me why. They asked me.
You did a fashion show where?
It was at the Apollo in Harlem. It was like me, Marlon Wayans, Dion Cole. It was a stacked lineup of comics. It's a fashion show crowd. They sucked. I bombed. And I'm in the green room and Jaylen Brown walks in. I'm like, oh, of course a Celtic just witnessed that bomb. Jesus Christ. This is all I need to make my night worse. And he came over to me and he was like, that was so funny. He was so cool. And I talked to him for like 15, 20 minutes. He was great. But he did tell me that they were going to rip the Knicks' throats out on opening night, and they did. He did get me there. But, yeah, I mean, you call Brunson a flopper. What the is Jaylen Brown? Brown has been playing so dirty the last couple games. It's insane.
You're so mad.
It's a lot of F-bombs from Sam, and it's
like
coming out naturally because of what happened.
I'm sorry I messed up your family show, Dan. I'm sorry, morning show. I didn't know I was on live with Kathy Lee or whatever the hell. Sorry, Kelly. I don't know who even has the show anymore. I'm so angry.
How did your morning show shenanigans go the last time we talked to you when you were surrounded by fentanyl?
It was such a disaster that I'm holding it. I'm not releasing it until I make a movie, and it'll be in the movie. It was that ugly. It was that weird and uncomfortable.
Wow.
Because they're hard. It's hard to surprise anybody now. It's hard to be.
Yeah, but we did it. We pulled it off. But I have to save that one. I don't want the world to see that one until the movie comes out.
Oh, so it's that good? You're saying that? Oh, okay, that uncomfortable. Wow. So you're saying it was transcendent?
Yeah, it was probably me at my best.
Is this better than when Gary wore a gimp suit?
It was better.
Jesus.
Because this time Gary refused to put on the gimp suit, and the guy had no idea what we were talking about, and we got a fight on. It's too good to even explain. I'm saving it.
We've talked to you about a little bit about the movie you're making, not very much though about the movie you're making. What can you tell people about it, or what do you want people to know about it?
Nothing. It'll be out next year, but I'm making a movie myself, financing myself because I don't want to. Even if you get funding, man, they take 2 years. It takes forever to get people on board. I'm in the process of making something else, and it takes 2 months to set a meeting with these lazy who live in their Apple store looking offices in LA who don't work, but they pretend to work. We all get up to work.
The studio is real, right? Seth Rogen's The Studio is real.
It's all real. These people don't work. It's like Yom Kippur turns into like, you're like, oh, we're off Yom Kippur through MLK Day. I'm like, I don't, those aren't related. It's maddening. They're maddening to work with. So I'll just make something myself. I'll just put in my own money. And we got amazing cameos in it too. But that's all I can say. I don't want to share anymore because I want it to be a surprise.
Sam, is there a part of your Knicks fandom that once Tatum went down, you're like, oh, now we might actually lose because the expectation is that we're going to win. Like this might actually work against us, and also it just means more Derek White, and I almost fear him more.
No part of my that did not. You just put that in my brain. That was not in my brain.
You should fear that guy. You should fear that guy. That guy always answers the bell.
That's a champion.
I'm most scared. I'm the most scared of Derek White for sure. He's so annoying because he's one of those he's like that player that your dad loves. He's just like a perfect player. He's so annoying. He doesn't miss a shot. He's a great defender, although Brunson did cook him. And my hope is that like the Celtics, as good as they are, I do think Horford and Holiday for the first time ever look kind of old. That being said, White and Pritchard scare me more than anyone.
Oh, but this is the part that's scary, right? I feel like I may have been misidentifying in previous conversations with you some of what I was doing because of the role Tatum plays. You and I have been talking about the idea of how hard it is to be the third player on one of these teams with this ego, and Drew Holiday's been a champion there for a while. But when Drew Holiday's your fifth best player, because Porzingis and Derek White are better, When Drew Holiday's your fifth best player, even sort of washed, I'm telling you, I'm still scared of that team even without Jason Tatum. If their other guys are healthy, they're as good as everybody but OKC, even without Tatum.
I agree with you. I agree with you. They're scary, man. And I mean, what the hell happened to Porzingis? Though, did someone put a spell on him? He stinks.
He's ill. He's ill.
He couldn't breathe.
He's ill.
He's been ill for 2 months. He's 26 years old. I didn't realize, I had the flu for 12 days. I'm an out-of-shape alcoholic, This guy can't recover in 2 months. He's a pro athlete.
Well, if you're going to start asking me what's happening with the bodies of the 7'3" people, like in sports, we're making athletes bigger and stronger and weirder shape than ever before.
We haven't talked. Speaking of athletes, we haven't talked enough about the Luke Cornett revenge game.
I know. I didn't know he was Ben Wallace when the Knicks need something. It's like, of course he turns into like it was insulting that he had 7 blocks, but then when he threw down that reverse backwards alley-oop dunk, I was like, that's like a Stromile Swift dunk. That's not even I've never seen a white player do that dunk, ever. Needless to say, like a 7-foot attitude. That was insane. I was like, at that point, you're just like, just take it. Just take the game. Go away.
Do you like his nickname, the White Howard?
I haven't heard that one. When he was on the Knicks, we called him the Unicornette, because we had the unicorn and I mean, it's crazy that he and Porzingis were both Knicks, but the White Howard's better. I'll give you that.
What kind of shape are you going to be in later today? Because we've been talking about the emotional fandom here of, man, if you're going to make me spike around going on a comedy tour, I'm making I'm making a movie, I'm drinking after shows, and also my heart is breaking because I'm going from that's the best sports feeling I've had in 25 years to that kind of feels like the worst sports feeling I've had in 25 years. Your life's a bit careening right now.
I'm probably going to die young, dude. Thanks for bringing it up. Yeah, I feel like shit. I'm hungover. I don't sleep ever. I just got off of like a 50-city tour. I'm tired. Look, that wasn't the worst loss we've had. I mean, game that low was not as high as the high on Monday. So we still have
but the end of this series would be if you lose the next 2 games, the low's going to be lower than the high was.
Yeah, dude, I got a ceiling fan in my room. I'm going to check the weight. I'll put it that way. That might be it for me. That might be the last time I come on your dumb little family show here. This show. And you for bringing that up. It's not going down that way. Knicks in 6.
Yeah, it'd be embarrassing with no Tatum and no Porzingis. I mean, how can you lose to that team?
Yeah, well, either way, we destroyed the Celtics. So how do you like them apples?
Sam, what happens if you have a show and it's a Knicks finals game?
I purposely didn't. I even have a benefit on the books that I said if the Knicks have a game, I'm not coming.
Okay.
Wow.
F them kids.
That's real.
I purposely did not book any gigs past this, so I have nothing really big till July. I did 50 cities already. I got it out of the way. So yeah, no shows. Also, I just want to see Portnoy shut up. I'm sick of his dumb videos.
So Sam, this opens the door. I want to ask you this question because yesterday a ruling came down that Spike Lee has lost his number 1 fandom.
I don't remember making that ruling.
Well, you weren't here. The alternate judge would say that. Well, no, it's open. It's open now because he skipped the Knicks playoff game to go to the Met Gala, and that's you just said right now you'd skip benefits, you skip a show if the Knicks had a finals game on that day. He skipped a playoff game to go to the Met Gala, so we stripped him of his number 1 fandom, but now we open it up, and so there's a lot of people applying. We got McEnroe, we've got Ben Stiller, Tracy Morgan, Chalamet.
Sam.
I respect Chalamet. He goes to every game. He goes on the road, so you got to show him respect. It's hard to take away Spike's keys, man. That guy was he was paying for tickets in like this late 60s. Spike is old,
But I feel like he's been riding that story for years. years now.
No, but wait a minute. Make the accusation that made you officially take it away from Spike. He chose the Met Gala over a Knicks playoff game.
And Steve Martin was a prop comic.
No, but I'm saying, tell him, lean on the specifics of it.
Well, the specifics are like, hey, man, if you're going to make that choice, it sounds like you're not that big of a fan. I'm just saying, like the Met Gala get dressed up. Like
Met Gala's every year.
Every year.
I will say that Spike disappeared for a couple years when Brooklyn came to New York. I will say that.
That sounds like he's coming a little over to your side.
So, Sam.
Yeah.
Are you a candidate for the number one Knick fan?
Wow.
No, I think I don't like this like number one Knicks fan shit. What are we doing? This is what you non-Knicks fans do. You try to turn us against each other.
Well, Stephen A. is the number one Knicks fan right now. Stephen A. is clearly the number one Knicks fan.
100%.
Obviously.
The number one most annoying Knicks fan. I'll give you that. He's a pain in the ass. No one likes him. Apparently, our ESPN numbers are terrible. You can't convince me that cancer isn't part of it. No, he's not in the running. No Knicks fan would say he's in the running. There's no number one fan. Knicks Twitter is just a beautiful, holy place where the fans come to talk and share funny memes. And I think we kept it classy about Tatum, which is why we're the best fan base.
I bet it's closer to hell.
No, it's not hell. Philly Twitter is hell. That's hell.
I believe that.
Let me tell you something.
What about hockey Twitter?
If Tatum tours ACL again, if Jason Tatum tours Achilles against the Sixers, tell me that fan base would have been classy. They would have been sending flowers, that said "F you, Tatum." That would have been nice.
Flowers are kind of classy. I like that.
But it would have been a misdirect. It would have said, "Here's flowers." And you're like, "Oh, Philly's nice." And then it would have said, "F you."
Like one of these.
Don't tell me the Knicks fans are the Knicks fans. We all obviously applaud Tatum. We know he's a great player, and we felt terrible that happened. So, but Philly, they would have been loving that shit.
Can you play for me, Chris, me accurately predicting and celebrating the victory lap in general of what it is that I was rooting in for this Boston-New York series?
Tatum's injury?
No,
rooting for his injury?
I'm rooting. I'm rooting for Boston fans and New York fans to both suffer. I don't know how we achieve that, but we're on our way so far. And the way I feel about both the Knicks and the Celtics fan base make it so that this game, I want the Meteor to win. I want both teams to explode, both teams to lose, both teams to get injured.
Not a good look, Dan.
Ouch.
I wasn't rooting.
I don't know why you're such an angry person. You have a nice life down there. You have a very nice wife. You have a great studio. You got a good morning show here.
Nice family show.
The problem is why you're so angry. Why are you so angry living in sunny Florida with a good life, you prick? Why can't you let me be happy for once? Because your fucking team imploded? Because Tyler Hero's your best player? Fuck off.
I think that's a good dismount.
Yeah,
I think that's a good.
That's a suey.
I don't think I could do better than that. Any parting words for Tony here before you go, though? Because you've got to.
Tony and eat shit, Dan. What? Both you can suck my dick.
Go to hell, Morril.
All right.
I almost saw you at the Doral Improv. I'm glad I didn't.
No, what are you doing? He was great. What do you mean? What are you feuding?
You just told him to suck a dick.
Yeah, I told him. I almost saw him and I didn't. Should have been funnier. Rat bastard.
I told you I worried about playing with these guys when they're angry.
You love playing with guys when they're angry from what I've heard.
All righty.
Hey.
See you later, Sam. Hey, yo.
That's a dismount.
Got him.
Oh my God! What a great show!
What is that sign? Why did you get
We've
that
needed
sign?
it recently.
Yeah,
We've needed it recently.
Yeah.
We're
on air, Dan.
I can't believe.
If I turn it around.
No,
don't turn it around.
Go back.
Yes.
That is huge for Greg as well.
Thank you. I like that. It's like one of those things at a golf tournament where they hold up a little sign.
Family show.
Why is that not sponsored? That is the best thing Metal Arc Media has made right there.
Just made it right
That's
now.
why it's not sponsored.
We
just
literally
made it. You
in
did
the
not
middle
know
of the
it was
Sam Morril segment. We made it.
No one knew it was around.
I have been told that DraftKings has brought its highest ranking talent in here to help us with things that should be well sold around here. And I just saw a paddle that should have a a sponsor on it that is the best thing Metal Arc Media has
You
made.
have bad ideas sometimes.
Sell a paddle.
The honest-to-God helpful paddle to let you know when we're on air should not be sponsored, and I'm really regretting them walking in during that interview specifically where we set a record for F-bombs.
The most truthful thing Dan has ever said is, I don't know anything about business, and every day you prove it when you want us to sponsor things like a paddle.
This is why it would be funny to sponsor the paddle, though. If you were to be able to get my attention with something that shows, Dan, all of the dollars will be gone right now. All of the dollars if you don't know that you're on air because you're going to do without judgment what Sam just did.
Let's put a little DK logo on that for
Sold.
the time being. That's added value.
Sponsored by DK.
DraftKings.
DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Put a little crown on top.
There you go.
So added V right there.
Thank you. So was that so hard? Look at how a bad idea turns into a good idea, just like
no
that.
such thing as a bad idea, Dan.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
no,
you.
there's plenty of bad ideas.
Sam Morril was one of them. Sam Morril Angry was one of them.
We spun that into a win.
I disagree with you.
So does our editor. Hey listeners, it's Mike Ryan, and if you've listened to this show for 20 years, you know one action movie franchise that I believe stands head and shoulders above the rest. That's right. The Mission Impossible series is one of the few franchises that gets better and better, consistently raising the bar with set pieces, story, location, and character. This is a franchise that I've argued in the past should have won the Best Picture award. Tom Cruise consistently is upping himself and raising that bar with each Mission Impossible film as the real. Practical stunts continue to push the envelope in new record-setting ways. Tom's passion for entertaining audience has him, along with a dedicated cast and crew, pulling out all the stops to deliver the most thrilling, unbelievable feats yet. I simply cannot wait for this film. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, in theaters May 23rd. Hey everybody, it's Mike Ryan. You know I'm a race fan. You know I travel to races, and I had a great experience a couple of weeks ago sitting outside the RV, toasting the good times with Miller Lights in hand with some of my best buddies. It was truly a memory that I'll remember forever, and truly a time that was made better by making that time a Miller time. Trust me when I say, there just isn't a better feeling than hanging out with your boys, clanging those beautiful white cans of Miller Lite, and realizing that you don't got to worry about the taste of your beer because the taste of your beer is designed for people who love the taste of beer, a taste that you know you can depend on. A great beer trusted by beer lovers for 50 years. From game night to race night to parties with friends or a special anniversary, celebrating important occasions means more moments with the coolest people in your life. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite, the great-tasting light beer for people who love beer since 1975. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
I'm just trying to live up to the version of me my dogs think I am. You know what I mean? Dopey and Izzy, they think I've got it all figured out. Meanwhile, I'm Googling, can dogs eat watermelon at midnight? Because I fed them some and now I'm panicked. And guess what? We're out of food. Flea Meds treats everything. Enter Chewy, lifesaver. Got everything delivered in likely a day. Food? Check. Flea stuff? Check. Toys they'll ignore in 10 minutes, but I'll keep buying anyway? Yep, check. Chewy has over 100,000 products. Food, meds, toys, fish stuff, bird stuff. If it's got a tail or scales, Chewy's got it. They've got vet visits, insurance, and all of it. Plus, I'm on AutoShip now. I don't have to remember anything. And here's the best part about AutoShip. This is one of those months where Dopey and Izzy got a little hungrier in their tum-tums and food was going quicker than I anticipated. I can go onto AutoShip and change the date and it'll come sooner. Chewy has everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. And right now, you can save $20 on your first order and get free shipping by going to chewy.com/Dan. That's chewy.com/Dan to save $20 on your first order with free shipping. Chewy.com/Dan. Minimum purchase required. New customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See site for complete details. By the way, dogs can eat watermelon, just not the seeds or the rind. I'm learning.
Don Le Batard. Sub 500 seasons, it's been lonely. Now the best players on our side. Been losing and losing for much too long. But now we're back with New York pride. Stugotz. Jalen. You've got us on our feet, Jalen. We're gonna win the East, Jalen. Without Randall, we're still doing fine.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
He's mad at me now, and that's not fake. He's mad. Look, man, Knicks fans don't. Please understand, God Almighty, this fan base is desperate for a good story. Azari was on yesterday telling you this is the biggest thing this town has known. This is the team we love the most. You've seen how loud they get off one playoff win. They've had nothing for 25 years. All of a sudden, hope. Here it is, the biggest hope they've had in 20 years. Their parents are losers when it comes to the Knicks fans. That's what got hand-me-down. They love this team. The Celtics are scary. And now the Celtics are the underdog. They liked it when they were the underdog.
Guys, I have to stop us, okay? Because as funny as it is to laugh at Knicks fans, we just came off a heater of an interview where we were laughing directly in one's face and he got really mad. We've been sitting on this sound of Steve Dangle,
so good,
a Maple Leafs fan that was doing a live watch along with the Maple Leafs, and quite honestly, we should have came out the gates with this because there is nothing better. Now I do this post game. I'm known to do that. When Boston loses, I run to WEEI. I want to soak up all those tears. WDEI. There was a live in progress watch along with a huge Maple Leafs fan in a game that they went down 6-0 in. So you gotta believe, for a team that hasn't made it past the second round but once in the last 24 years, all right, they absolutely got devastated and realized that, oh no, we've been counting on Mitch Marner and the Toronto Maple Leafs to take care of business. This was a moment in time. Celebrate it with me.
Mitch, what was that? Here come the Panthers off a spinny backhand pass, and they score! Mitch, what on earth are you friggin' doing? What was going through your head when you did that? What is your major malfunction? What made you think that was the move? The Panthers have Jesper friggin' Boquist up on their top line tonight, and he just buried you clowns. 3-0 in your own barn halfway through a game 5? You guys suck!
So that's all Knicks fans. That's all of them.
We have one more clip.
A bit more efficient.
Guys, play the next one.
That is what the Panthers did in Toronto last night. The champions reminded everybody that they're back in the league, and I told you the whole thing was haunting. Like, it was silent, and that's what was in the background.
Good.
That was, listen to me, that's a country. That's a country that is afraid of the United States.
Oh, yeah.
Dan, how about in the middle of the game? It was probably when it was 4-0, right? Buddy took off his Austin Matthews sweater and threw it onto the ice. I don't think I've ever seen that before. We see the videos of burning the jerseys, throwing them in the garbage. He took it off and threw it onto the ice during the game.
How are Maple Leafs fans trying to spin that into a win after last night? Do you understand what happened to that crowd midway through the second period?
No,
if that had
Mike,
happened in South Florida.
First goal.
No. I understand that they went silent. I'm talking about evacuating the premises and making it so that it was like an eighth full
of
what it was
drill
before the game. They left. They quit on their team. They got up and left.
By the way, the other sad thing was the broadcast kept showing Jurassic Park outside, and it was just like 7 people standing around.
Put sad Jurassic Park in my veins.
How do you stay? If you're in Jurassic Park, watch it. It's 4-0. It's 5. You're still there. Move on with your life. What are you doing?
The part that I find best about this, though, and God, guys, like, you really have to celebrate when you have this in your town.
Are we not doing that?
When this is the thing that you have that scares people, very few fan bases get to feel that for years. Like, you have the thing that frightens people and frightens them at 1-0.
They're not just frightened of the Florida Panthers, though. They're frightened of the weight of the leaf on their sweater because that team is a loser franchise.
Right, they're frightened that this is their life.
Yes, and we kind of knew it the whole time. Like, you went up 2-0, but the Panthers have just been sloppy. You haven't been playing well. When we get our game right, you're toast. Why? Because you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're counting on Mitch freaking Marner.
Now, as a non-hockeyman, I have to ask this question. I've been told the Toronto Maple Leafs are kind of like the Knicks of hockey, where it's like they won some championships a long time ago, and it's a huge city that lives on that history but hasn't had any success recently, and they look down on everyone else, kind of like, not success, I mean, talking about championship success.
Yes. The short answer is yes, but I would say the difference is the Knicks fan, I think the Knicks fan thinks every year they're going to be good. The Leafs fan knows what happened last night is coming.
No. Let me correct you there. You saw Sam. The Knick fan, the real Knick fans, right? The ones that grew up in the 90s are all waiting for something bad to happen. Even as it gets great, it's like, oh my God, this is awesome.
They're pretending like they're not.
They're all worried, oh my God, here's how it goes. Here's how our heart breaks, right? So last night, right, they're up 3-1. Say, so what? We lost the game. We're coming back to the Garden, whatever. No, secretly like, Jesus, this is what happens. We blow a 3-1 lead when Tatum is out. In some way, some of them are upset that Tatum got hurt. Because kind of with Tatum out there, if you win, you lose, because they're like, well, the Celtics are a great team. But now with no Tatum, it's like, no, this is how we blow it after we had every advantage.
They booed them off the ice in the second period yesterday.
I know, that was great.
I had goosebumps.
I don't understand why the swaggering bravado from Maple Leafs fans. They were chanting, "We won Florida" a year after they tried that. And
I mean, how about Twitter after game 2? It was like
you turn into TNT and Biz is confident. It's like, what are you guys not aware? With the Knicks, they feel like the bottom's
you know who you are.
Why? How do you not know who you are? I'm from South Florida.
I know who I am.
I didn't see snow until I was like 34 years old. How do I know who you are better than you?
Tony, you know who you are?
Absolutely.
Chris, you know who you are?
Damn right.
I mean, you know who you are?
Every damn day.
I know who I am. Leafs don't know who they are.
You guys say this, but I would say to you, as it regards the Knicks, when you talk about swaggering bravado, Knicks fan is awfully loud. Like, we're painting with one brush here. Knicks fan was feeling him and herself at 3-1, and some of them were fearing the disaster, but many of them are now, we got Brunson. It's a different day. We got the beloved guy, and I will say this again, we're the underdog. It's easy. The favorite's not easy, man. People, I mean, you can testify to this. I've heard again and again, the Minnesota Timberwolves are not mature enough. Why aren't they mature enough? Because they are a team that does not know how to win as favorites. It's not because they're young. It's because they don't know what it takes to win when everyone expects you to win. Brunson, you're expected to win now. Knicks, you're expected. You're favored to win in the Garden. That's different. And they're ready to turn on their team if somebody goes 1 for 9. If they turned on Anunoby yesterday like that. They're ready to turn on their team in this moment.
Well, I will testify to this as a 2-time WNBA champion and an Olympic gold medalist.
Go on.
That, yes, the heavy is the head that wears the crown, Dan. And when you're the favorite, when you're on top, you don't have the benefit of the doubt. It's like when we talk about NFL preseason, right? If you play well in the NFL preseason, what do people say? Yeah, it's a preseason, doesn't matter. But if you play poorly, oh my God, you're awful, right? There's no upside, it's all downside. And that's a place where Knicks fans know. They've lived there for years and years, where there's no upside and everything's a downside. With regard to the Minnesota Timberwolves, it is because they're immature and they don't execute now. They've been better this year. You got to give them credit, Curry or no Curry. They've executed when it came time to put their foot on the throat. Anthony Edwards did it. I think everyone trusts Anthony Edwards. It's the other characters that we wonder about.
Also, Knicks fans right now have zero excuses available to them. With no Tatum, with a shell of Porzingis, and we all talk about Tatum, nobody talks about Porzingis, 20-point scorer, a shell of himself. If you blow a 3-1 lead to a team missing 2 of its stars, you're an embarrassment.
If you blow a 3-1 lead to Luke Cornett and Derek White, and that's what this is.
Okay.
That's what this is all about.
I want to talk to you guys because I don't want to leave this this Toronto situation very much, because the suffering of historically bad fan bases. So much is happening in sports right now that we weren't even able to mock the Cavaliers for being the Cavaliers in the last round because we just skipped right past that. So I want to get back to this Toronto Maple Leafs fanalist, a podcaster who's being hurt by I don't want the short sound. I want just all the crazy. This is halfway through the game.
It's a shame that you were listening on radio. While it had some benefits, this play that he is right to flip out over
patience.
This play.
Well, no, Marner bad turnover, but the Reinhart patience with the pass.
It's incredible. And by the way, Sam Reinhart would have had one of the coolest goals of all time if that goal actually went in, that he kicked up from his skate and in midair slapped his stick at. And it did generate a goal, so it was a smart hockey play. And one thing that you can count on Sam Reinhart to do, because the offensive game hasn't been there in terms of results, but that dude on the defensive end, he's somehow turning it up when his team needs him. Mitch Marner is a really good defender, and his defense yesterday was pathetic. It was a pathetic effort from somebody who's going to cash out this summer. He's going to make max money in that sport, and he is someone who people have openly questioned in the playoffs. Austin Matthews as well. For those two stars, we'll worry about Austin Matthews. Like, he needs to score goals, but at least he's a captain. He was showing effort in that last 2 minutes. What Mitch Marner was doing last night was so pathetic. The fact that that guy has 2 shots in his last 4 games is insulting to anybody that's ever worn blue in Toronto.
Mike, Austin Matthews has appeared in 10 playoff games in the second round in his career. All 10 of those are against the Florida Panthers. Donut. 0
This is
goals.
The best American hockey player by consensus, Austin Matthews.
Well, he's supposed to be.
He's supposed to be.
He's losing that title as we speak.
Overrated? Overrated?
Exceptionally overrated.
Exceptionally overrated.
Don't forget that Four Nations final. Who led Connor McDavid wide open in the high slot? It was Austin Matthews.
Greg Cody, are you willing in the second round of the playoffs to escalate these playoffs to the place that last year's playoffs escalated to?
Sure.
Billboards for McDavid that he's overrated. You're now saying exceptionally overrated?
Yes, he's supposed to be the best U.S.-born player in the league. Obviously, it's Matthew Tkachuk. But he's a puddle on the ice right now, Austin Matthews. He's done nothing for that team in this series. If I'm a Leafs fan looking for a scapegoat, I start with Austin Matthews in this series. I start with him.
I don't even think Matthews is the best Tkachuk.
There you go.
You better be careful saying that.
I love Matthew Tkachuk is my favorite hockey player of all time.
Don't say that out loud.
He's better than Brady.
Take it back.
Come on.
No, he's not better than Brady.
Okay.
He's not better than Brady Tkachuk. Okay. Brady Tkachuk is unbelievable. He's better defensively. He's bigger. He's more dependable and consistent goal scorer. Brady Tkachuk is a superior player. I love Brady Tkachuk. We're all Americans here. Come on, what are we doing?
Which do you think was a better feeling? Brad Marchand scoring the game-winning overtime goal in Game 3.
Deflected.
Or what Brad Marchand was feeling after he got his game misconduct last night, walking off the ice, and that Maple Leafs fan yelling whatever he was yelling at him, and Marchand smiling and saying to himself, I effing own you.
And that Maple Leafs fan, if you read the lips, he is going hard. He is wearing all 6 of those goals that are on that scoreboard. There are F-bombs flying out of his mouth. He's saying vile stuff.
Look at the Panther employee behind, just clutching his pearl.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, but let it be stated for the record, okay? I think we all know this. When I don't need the scoreboard to know that it's 6-1. Marchand wins if you're the fan that's down 6-1 yelling at him F you. In that particular instance, he doesn't have to do anything but smile because that is utopia for Marchand. Marchand walking into your country, looking your fans in the face and you're F-bombing him on the way out, he couldn't get this feeling in Boston. He had to go to Florida to get that feeling.
I didn't know I worked for the Panthers.
It does look like you a little bit. One person that I don't question on the Maple Leafs, though, is William Nylander. When he's out there, he gives it his all. William Nylander has had 4 straight rushes at the net, unopposed, and Sergei Bobrovsky, over the last 2 games, has been so dynamite. Those are
standing
massive.
On his head.
And let's not forget the Matthew Nyes breakaway. against the Panthers that could have put the Panthers in a 3-0 hole. Sergei Bobrovsky deserves more praise in this playoff run, I think, so far than he got last year.
Do you realize playoff Bob is a thing? I'm shocked by it, but Chris Cody just said in my ear, he was not joking. He just said, because he said it out loud to everybody, stand on his head. He stood on his head. And then he said to me, I have no idea what that phrase means.
I hear him say it all the time, though. It's a hockey thing.
It's you're making goal saves while on your head.
It's something that is exclusive to attendees and keeps.
It's a prison term, too, right? You're doing a bit like do it on my head. Like, that means, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I do that.
I've never been in prison.
Well,
I don't know.
What are you doing on your head in prison?
You don't want to know.
No, I'm upside down.
I would do so poor in prison.
A vending machine for sex.
What, you have them paying?
Yeah.
It would go so poor.
Just a revolving door.
Be like the bevy machine. It's just.
Let's play the long clip there, please. Give me the long video clip of that fanalist going crazy. Again, I will repeat, this is halfway through the game. It got worse after that. This is the pain halfway through.
Mitch, what was that? Here come the Panthers off a spinny backhand pass, and they score! Mitch, what on earth are you friggin' doing? What was going through your head when you did that? What is your major malfunction?
Odd thing to say.
What made you think that was the move? The Panthers have Jesper friggin' Boquist
It's such a good
up on their top line tonight,
Put some respect on his name.
and he just buried you clowns. 3-0 in your own barn halfway through a game 5? You guys suck!
Live odds, Florida minus 1,000 at the time, too, is a nice little touch.
Do you realize that right there, if I could put it in a scrapbook for all time and bury Marchand in a box right now, he'd say, remember me that way. I do that to people. Just please remember me forever. That's what I do to people. It sounds like love. It sounds like joy. Marchand went to bed last night looking like Zaslow at the end of the game. Just he beat you 6-1. You hate him and you can't sleep anymore.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Ryan. You know I'm a race fan, you know I travel to races, and I had a great experience a couple of weeks ago sitting outside the RV, toasting the good times with Miller Lights in hand with some of my best buddies. It was truly a memory that I'll remember forever, and truly a time that was made better by making that time a Miller time. Trust me when I say, there just isn't a better feeling than hanging out with your boys, clanging those beautiful white cans of Miller Lite, and realizing that you don't got to worry about the taste of your beer because the taste of your beer is designed for people who love the taste of beer, a taste that you know you can depend on. A great beer trusted by beer lovers for 50 years. From game night to race night to parties with friends or a special anniversary, celebrating important occasions means more moments with the coolest people in your life. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite, the great-tasting light beer for people who love beer since 1975. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/stand to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
All right, so here's something interesting. Did you know that sleep actually is really important to recovery? I mean, who knew, right? And everyone needs something different from their bed, which is why Sleep Number makes these smart beds that let you adjust each side to the firmness you want. Kind of perfect for couples that can't agree on anything. They've even partnered with the NFL since 2018, and 80% of NFL players sleep on a Sleep Number smart bed. So yeah, there's a reason these things are popular. They've got beds that cool you down, up to 15 degrees cooler on either side, to help you sleep better, especially if you're someone who wakes up sweating like you just ran wind sprints in your dreams. The bed also responds to your movements and adjusts as you sleep, which is wild. Why choose Sleep Number Smart Bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now, it's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.